Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. In today's conversation, I'm going to be speaking about something very near and dear to me, data democratization and its impact on the public, its impact on entities, and its impact on regulators. We thank you for the opportunity to talk to you. We hope it's informative, and we look forward in engaging in a dialogue that provides value to you as you go down your journey to ensure that you are empowered, both as custodians, as the actual owners, as well as regulators, to ensure you're effective in the use of your data. When we think about one of the biggest challenges facing the sheer growth of data, it relates to privacy and to ensure trust between the digital provider and the individuals whose data it is. As you look at countries putting data sovereignty laws into place to try and address this challenge, the enforcement of that becomes an extremely cumbersome aspect, both for the enterprises who are custodians of the data, as well as the regulators trying to ensure that that enforcement takes place. The empowerment and use of data, both from what we hear today in terms of interactive AI, such as ChatGPT, as well as other means to use data as a facilitator or differentiation, relies on one key premise: the ability to share data based on consent. And that consent means the person whose data you are utilizing as part of your aggregation, as part of your data mining, as part of your AI. This challenge will be humanity's largest challenge when it comes to technology. Data democratization will determine human democratization. And the ability to make sure that your data is protected is just as good, if not more, than making sure that you are protected. Because at the end, data does equate to you and your identity. As power of data increases, the need for democratization, consent, security, and all the aspects governing data will continue to be a larger and larger segment. Our vision and our belief is that the individuals and the entities whose data it is are the true owners of the data. Enterprises that store that data as a result of transactions that may have taken place with them, as a result of these individuals and entities being customers with them, is simply custodians of that data, not necessarily true owners. As such, empowering those individuals to have the ability to control the use of that data by the enterprise is going to be the most important capability that technology provides. If the data is unusable or the consent is not received, everything we talk about as it relates to AI becomes irrelevant, because you don't have the data to mine. You don't have the large language or the small language to be able to process. But that consent requires the ability to interact that individual and the entity and their ability to engage with the custodian. What we at Data Dynamics have done is ensure that the enterprise is empowered to know, as custodians, where the data is, who owns it within their enterprise, what type is it, when was it last accessed, all the characteristics. And then we take it a step further in whose information is within that data, which creates the context and content combination. We are taking that to the next level by providing the ability to allow the actual individual whose data it is to participate in the ecosystem of being able to approve the use or non-use of that data. Through next generational technologies, including blockchain, including artificial intelligence, we are able to correlate and understand whose data it is, who has access, who within the enterprise owns it, how do you manage consent to it, how do you reward that consent through a contractual obligation that makes it a commercial agreement between the individual or entity whose data it is and the custodians of that data. Think of the power of what I just said. We are going to provide and empower the democratization of the data through adequate consent, where there is a commercial reward and benefit garnered from the use of your data. This is not aspirational. This is not something that's a future, this is something that we're offering now. This is something that we strongly believe in. It's a vision that we set for ourselves, executed on, and are capable of giving. The ability to give this would transform how an individual views their data and trusts their digital partner, as well as for the custodian to know that they are using the data in the right manner based on the agreements they have with the individuals whose data it truly is. Having that cohesiveness, having that agreement in place ensures that both parties feel they're done right by. It also addresses the regulatory concern. Now I am not worried as much about data sovereignty because that consent is provided as an overriding capability through a commercial agreement by the individual or entity whose data it is. So the regulatory enforcement becomes that much easier. So you can see how what we've done and what we've built out provides that end-to-end capability addressing all constituents involved here. At the end of the day, the ability to use data in the right place, right format, with the right approvals from the individuals or entities whose data it is the most empowering capability we can offer in the technological future that lay ahead of us. We look forward to participating in the journey, and if you want to check out more, please visit us at www.datdyn.com. Data Dynamics is your partner in driving and empowering data democratization for the next generation.